excited as all of you are for another round of insightful discussion. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce all the eminent speakers of the session today. So, first of all, on stage, can we have Mr. Puneet Goyal, Director, ICF Consulting? Please give them a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Next, can we have Mr. Pradeep Kumar Jha, AGM, Green Vertical, SIDBI? Can we have Dr. Sachin Kumar on stage from SSS NIBE, Scientist and Head Biochemical Conversion Division? Next, kindly come upon Mr. Bhima Shankar Shetkar from NDTB Mrida Limited. He's the Chief Operating Officer. Mr. Bhima Shankar, ladies and gentlemen. Next, can we have Mr. Ravi Kaushal from SBI, State Bank of India, Assistant General Manager. Please give our speakers a big round of applause. So first, I would like to welcome Mr. Puneet Goyal, who has over 18 years of rich and diverse experience in fuels and resource sector, covering Australia, India, Southeast Asia, and USA. His expertise spans across energy sector, covering demand and supply assessment for biomass throughout various conversion pathways, regulatory review, technical commercial due diligence of CBG plants. You just name it and he's doing it. So kindly come upon the stage. We would love to hear from you. Please, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome him.
Thanks, everyone. First, I would like to thank IBA for inviting us, giving me this opportunity to speak on the CBG sector. I was fortunate enough to visit the last session and see the eminent speakers have talked on the different parts of the CBG value chain, starting from policies, different pathways for energy side, as well as different business models that make CBG works. So I'll try to keep my session short. I think a lot of information has already been covered. And the things I wanted to focus on is what are the future pathways that we can look for CBG sector. So I think, everyone should be very familiar with this slide. It's a Satat slide. What are the Satat scheme government has announced? The entire pathway for CBG is to reduce import dependency. Even the CBO blending scheme that has been launched is to make sure that as India is reducing its APM gas consumption, its APM gas production, how green gas could be provided to Indian clients on a competitive basis. So CBG for PNG domestic as well as CNG transport creates a very big role. Again, GHG emissions, cleaner energy, reducing air environment damages from Parali or MSW landfills. So these are the key drivers for CBG. This is just a picture of Parali, and it talks about what are the different types of organic materials. So on the top left-hand side, you would see what different types of potential for CBG potential, what's its contribution, and you would see agro residue is the second highest. Basically, highest is the animal waste, and agro residue is the second highest. It's predominantly agro residue is still more popular in terms of CBG plant, large-scale CBG plant, than the animal waste because it's easier to aggregate. If you look at agro residue, and we talked about the different agro residues, so you see paddy straw is one of the best agro residue in terms of either yield as well as availability. And the states like UP, Punjab, which has been discussed in the last session, these are the common states where paddy straw is easily available, and that's driving paddy straw-based CBG plant. These are the CBG potential from different residue. So you see Uttar Pradesh again is coming out very, very strongly, whether it's a paddy straw or a press mud. From MSW, other states are there. For 3 out of 4 diagrams I say, one of the interesting things is Uttar Pradesh is top in 3 of those diagrams. And this gives a very interesting picture. So UP, we have seen in the previous diagram shown by Invest India, that lots of plants in Uttar Pradesh are being developed as well as new plants are under construction. So that gives you a reason why Uttar Pradesh is being looked after, a potential key market states for CBG. But these are just the numbers. What about the policies? Now we have, most of this session would be focused on the policies. So while we have talked about central government policies, the support that MNRE has been providing, We would also look at the state policies and what support has been provided for each of those states. So this is just a quick comparison. Yeah, before getting into the policies, I would want to talk about the challenges. Despite a ambitious target of 5,000 CBG plants, we are nowhere close to that under Satat. Why it is those? So these are some of the challenges. So for agro residues, there are a couple of challenges. One is the aggregation. We have talked about supply chain aggregation. Atulji has talked about in the last session, and there has to be innovative business models and support for the supply chain aggregation. But apart from aggregation, paddy straw creates its own technology challenges, which is paddy straw is very rich in lignin, and to break down those lignin require either cutting the paddy straws or a significant amount of pre-treatment. So those challenges needs to be overcome as a technology provider or as a solution maker. Municipal solid waste, again, India has faced the biggest challenges in terms of aggregation. While Government of India targets by 2035, we would have 100% segregation at source for municipal solid waste. We've seen the ground realities, this remains a challenge. Until unless we come up to 100% segregation, building up a large-scale municipal solid waste plants remains a difficult challenge. Press mud is one of the good options, although it has slightly lower yield compared to paddy straw. Press mud is a good option. Where sugar companies, you can get a long-term contracts from the sugar producers. Uh, but again, press mud sugar is a very seasonal crop. So storage of press mud, there is a degradation over a period of time for storage of press muds, and thus press muds availability round the clock is a challenge. And the solution is developing a multi-stick feedstock. Again, animal waste, it's very widely dispersed. There are only few goshalas. And IB has done some amazing works on the goshala side. So we are getting some of the solutions from the partners like IBA, where we are looking at goshalas, large-scale goshalas to collect animal waste. I think in the last session, Invest India also presented a very interesting tender where tender was focused on poultry litter, which could be predominantly in Andhra and Telangana states where poultry farming is a lot more popular. So we are seeing some of the solutions are coming through with the industry stakeholders, but again, a lot of those challenges are still existing. So this is our overall our biogas timeline, and so I think 2006 we started with a fertilizer control order, then biomass gas stoves, bio CNG in the vehicles in 2015, biomass and power CA come up with an policies where biomass was injected and mixed with the power sector. Uh, from that power sector, initial mix to a mandation of 5% of biomass mixing to the power sector, then Govardhan scheme in February 2018, and all the way we are coming with a new renewable energy tariff for CERC for bioenergy, as well as CBO mandates. So we are seeing a lot of policy events happening both on the power side as well as on the oil and gas side. So CBG as a plant is actually multi-diverse. So it has an impact on the power industries, which is it's working with MOP and MNREs. It do have a very significant impact of oil and gas industries, where bio CNG plays a critical role in terms of reducing our air pollution as well as providing affordable CNG. But treating CBG plants just as an energy source would be injustice to the CBG plant. I would say CBG plant is more of a fertilizer manufacturing plant than a biogas plant. While we call it a CBG, and we keep on ignoring one of the key elements, which is fermented organic manure. So when we look at CBG plant, it's a diverse plant, and we are treating currently FOM as a byproduct. It's not really a byproduct. FOM is the core product for a biomethanation plant. I think we would require a lot of policy support. So while coming to the slides, I will talk about individual policy supports that would need to make biomethanation or CBG plants are successful in India. So these are some of the major regulations. We talked about CBG CGD synchronization scheme. Again, very well developed scheme that has created a lot of mandates in putting CBG into the CGD side. Bending obligation, as we mentioned in the last session also, so I'm not going to repeat, but it's voluntary, and then we go for a mandate. Right now, there is no penalty associated with it, so even the mandates are soft mandates. But we would see CBG replacing APM gas, particularly PNG domestic and CNG transport. And then the Satat scheme again has been a lot of schemes have been already been talked about. Again, Sangeeta ma'am has talked about most of those schemes, Govardhan scheme, National Biofuels Policy, the CFA assistance by MNRE, CBG and CGD network, Satat scheme, as well as organic manure. All the supports that government is providing in terms of sales of organic manure, marketing assistance for companies like IFCO and CRIPCO. So without getting into the details now, I'm getting into the state policies. So while CBG, a lot of support from the center has been provided, the state has also come up with its own policies. Most of the states have now a very well developed bioenergy policies. It's either the part of their overall renewables policy or a separate bioenergy policy. So I talked about a few of the states, and Uttar Pradesh holds very key. I belong to that state, and we are doing this conference in state of Uttar Pradesh. So Uttar Pradesh bioenergy policy came in 2022, which provides 100% exemptions in the electricity duty, land at a concessional rate, 100% waiver on the stamp duty, as well as 70 lakhs per ton of assistance from the capex site, maximum up to 20 crore. So per ton of CBG produced, they're getting 75 lakhs of assistance. Overall cap is at 20 crore. That's one of the major assistance which helps reduce the capex. So Uttar Pradesh comes up as a very leading state in supporting CBG, a very proactive government, a lot of support that has been provided by the government in terms of single window of clearances for CBG also. Haryana again has come up with those policies, and the slides probably would be available with our organizers. So team can look into the details of those slides. But again, 100% exemption on payment of fee and stamp duty, exemption from land use approval, as well as one of the very interesting policy from the Haryana government is looking at the farmer side, where they are coming up with support from agriculture universities for the farmers. So again, similarly, Bihar biofuels and Gujarat biofuel policies are there. I'm not going to get into that. So this is my last slide, and this is a slide where I want to spend about a minute or so to talk about what are the policy support needed. So I just highlighted four key elements. One is the development of organic manure. As I mentioned earlier, biomethanation plant, or CBG plant as we call it in India, is not completely an energy plant. It's not an energy domain. It's a agriculture domain. So a development of a sustainable bio manure policies is needed in India to support development of CBG. Currently, FOM is being marketed, or fertilizer organic manure, is being marketed as a compost with a minimum price, 5 rupees, 6 rupees, 4 rupees per kg that is being sold. We would require a significant support from that side, a comprehensive policies on that side. If nothing get into the details, but some of the very simple low-hanging fruits could be governments uses for their own horticulture department. So if there is a CBG plant close to available for the state's horticulture department, government should mandate those horticulture department to directly produce FOM from CBG plant rather than buying chemical manures. Green certificates, a lot of talks have happened on green certificates. IGX is working on those green certificates. We need a nodal agencies to certify those. But development of green certificates would put a premium on CBG, which is currently at 20% discount. Atulji has talked about those initiatives. Delinking of CBG price with CNG price. Currently, it's linked at a 20% discount. It should be either cost plus basis or CNG price plus certain green premium, but not a discount. The other thing is the tax support. CBG is taxed at 5% GST, while natural gas is under VAT. Now, when I start blending with the blending obligations, what support would be needed? How would I count my tax credits? Is there a mechanisms to look at that my CBG products, CBG would not get double taxation? It would incur VAT as well as GST. So these are some of the policy support that industry require from the government. And I think with that, I will close my sessions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Puneet Goyal, for such an insightful session. So, just a humble request to all the speakers to kindly restrict your talk to 8 to 10 minutes. Although all of you are like so full of knowledge, we would love to hear you a whole day, but then just because of time constraint. Next, we have Mr. Pradeep Kumar Jha, who's AGM SEDBI. And he has been associated with SEDBI since almost 17 years now, and he's handled promotion, development financing of MSMEs through project finance, micro finance, cluster development, green finance. So welcome on board. So we basically have a few pointers for you where we would need your insights. So kindly display the pointers. The pointers are displayed. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, IBA, for inviting me. Actually, my GM was to come, but due to some urgent work, I am coming. So whatever I know, I will share with you. SIDBI is the apex, as you maybe everybody will be aware, SIDBI is the apex financial institution for promotion, development, and financing of MSME. And at GCFB, Green Climate Finance Vertical, there is one vertical in SIDBI where we are working for promotion, development, and financing of green projects, MSMEs who are involved in green projects. So we have created, we have adopted some mission. We have adopted some mission like circular economy, renewable energy, electric mobility, adaptation and mitigation projects. In circular economy, we are having some promotion and development facilities and credit facilities also. On the promotion and development side, we are doing the capacity building of the MSMEs, bankers who, because you know bioenergy is a upcoming sector for banks and financial institutions. So many bankers and financial institutions are not aware of the nitty-gritty of this sector. So we are having some, we are in SIDBI, we are having experts who are helping our branches also and bankers also, NBFCs also. We are doing lots of capacity program. One program we have also conducted with IBA, and we wish to conduct so many programs in future also. If we come at the financing side, we have specialized green finance scheme for financing any projects in green finance sector. And we are also running a program of Ministry of MSME, which is called SPICE scheme, which is for projects in circular economy, where any MSME is implementing the project, they get subsidy of rupees 12.5 lakh rupees. Further, you know there are banks and financial institutions who are hesitating from financing the bioenergy projects because it is a upcoming center and they seek big collaterals. And without collateral, they are hesitating to finance. So we are running a risk-sharing facility for banks and financial institutions where we are partially guaranteeing the loan given by the banks and financial institutions. As a banker, because I have been in branches for more than 15 years, so what are the challenges a banker faces that I would tell you? Because this is not a, the financing the green energy sector is not a plain vanilla products for the banks. So we are not sure, bankers are not aware of the cash flow of this sector. Many projects are, upcoming projects are new, MSME entrepreneurs are new, they have not much experience. I can share you an experience in our risk sharing facility. We have created a fund of around 30 crore and for supporting loan of around 60 crore. But we are not getting enough projects so that we can, we are approaching many banks, many financial institutions, you give loan to bioenergy sector, but we are not getting so much because bankers are seeking for experience. They are not aware of the cash flow. So on that front, this type of initiative that IB is taking is very good for bankers also and for MSME also, which would fill the gap between MSME and banks. So this is from my side. Recently, I would like to inform you, we have contracted a fund from Global Climate Fund. One topic is green climate funds. We have contracted a fund of 200 million from GCF, or इसमें हम लोग we will make it 3 times. So we will add 3 times, and it will be a 1 billion fund, and this will be channelized through banks, NBFCs, MFIs, which banks they have to bring 3 times of this fund, banks and NBFCs. So this fund will be around 4 billion fund in future. So I think in the future is very good sector. Future is very good for the renewable energy sector and bioenergy sector. And SIDBI will always be able to contribute. SIDBI will always endeavor to contribute to this sector. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jha, for sharing your valuable insights with all of us. So next we have Dr. Sachin Kumar, who is serving as scientist and head of the division in Biochemical Conversion Division at SSS NEBE, Kapurthala. He was a visiting professor in the Department of Chemical and Biochemical Engineering at South Dakota School of Mines and Technology, Rapid City, USA. Now, if I keep on reading the profile of Dr. Sachin, then I think it will be evening. So let's welcome Dr. Sachin, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Mansha. And thank you, IBA, for giving me this opportunity. Uh, so I will speak on the biogas plant standards, which is basically code of practice. So this is like most needed document, and most of us are not aware of it. So this is last year published by BIS, and NIBE and experts throughout the country have contributed to prepare this document. And after preparing it, a lot of comments and suggestions were taken up from the stakeholders, other experts, users. It was in the public domain actually. Then finally it is published. So if you see, this is the third revision. So that's what this is third, because multiple revisions have been taken up based on the comments from all users and stakeholders. So next slide, please. Or I can do that. I can operate. Okay, so this is the scope of that standard. If you see, like it specifies the requirement for design, construction, installation, and operation of small, medium, and large scale biogas plants. So that categorization you will see in the next slides. Then it also includes the classification of biogas plants on the basis of daily biogas production. It also includes what feedstocks are included or excluded, that is given over there, plant performance parameters, then different designs, materials for digesters and gas holders and their construction. So yeah, this slide will show you on what basis we have classified these plants. Like we have categorized in three, small, medium and large. So if biogas production ranges from 1 to 25 meter cube per day, then it is small. Then 25 to 2500, it comes under the medium category. And then if it is more than 2500, it is categorized under the large scale biogas plants. If you see the feedstocks which are included, they are basically organic or biodegradable ones. So organic waste which coming from the animals, so they are included. Then biodegradable solids and liquid organic waste, those are coming from the industries, including sugar mills, food processing industries, crop residues and stubbles. Then organic and biodegradable fractions of MSW and domestic sewage waste. Then there are some feedstocks which are excluded. They are basically either they can be recycled or they can be, some other applications can be done. So they are basically fossil fuels and products and byproducts made from them. Then woody biomass, paper, cardboard, pasteboard, harbor sludge, plastics, metals, biomedical or pathogenic waste. Then if you see like general organic waste available or that category based, we have, here in this table we have given how much maximum HRT should be there, how much organic loading should be there for specific feedstock. So like we have included poultry waste, and seed may be like conventional one, this cow dung or animal waste, or maybe some specific seed or inoculum may be there. Then MSW, then food waste, vegetable waste, slaughterhouse waste, agricultural waste, cattle dung, kitchen waste. So all these are categorized over here. So the maximum range is given over here. Maximum in case of like HRT, or minimum in case of organic loading rate or total solid loading rate. Then the characteristics which are needed before setting up any plant. Like if we are targeting any feedstock, so what parameters we need to analyze, or we should know those parameters, based on that we can set up a plant. So one is C/N ratio. Like if you talk about like agricultural waste, so they are rich in carbon. So if you see like paddy straw, it contains like 75 or more than 75 C/N ratio. But for setting up a biogas plant, we have to have a range of like 15 to 30. Most optimum is the 20. Okay, so you have to look for some other feedstocks where you can do co-digestion. Like you can blend with a feedstock which having more in nitrogen. Okay, so that in that way, or sometimes some people also add some chemicals also, like urea you can add, or any other nitrogen rich. There may be CSL, corn steep liquor, that is rich in nitrogen. So in that way, that can be start. Then total solids. So based on the like total solids, we can categorize it in wet digestion or dry digestion. So both digestions are popular nowadays. So if we are keeping TS like 5 to 15%, then we consider it under the wet digestion. If it is more than that, then of course it is the dry digestion. Then volatile solids. So the minimum level should be like 60%. If you see most of the crop residues, you will find a VS of like 80. If you talk about like Biogas having like 98, 99. So that varies from feedstock to feedstock, and accordingly we have to select the feedstock for the this anaerobic digestion. Particle size, again it depends on the basically technology. And of course, the whatever output we are getting, that also enforce us to select the particle size. Like if you want to use slurry as a manure, so in manure, if you see in the standard, the particle size should be less than 4 mm. So accordingly, like feedstock should be in that way. I mean, whatever you are feeding in the digester. Then we have to check digester performance time to time. Like if you are getting optimum biogas production, that's fine. If you are, there is a reduction in the biogas, then you have to check some, like if temperature, you are using like mesophilic one, so that the temperature should be like 37, 38 or maximum 40. But in winter seasons, your temperature goes down, so that you have to take care. Like if your temperature is going down below 35, then there will be reduction in the gas production. But if it is a, more reduced temperature is there, then of course your biogas production will cease. Then pH, if you see like there is a VFA production, if VFA accumulation is there, your pH will go down. But if your nitrogen content is high, then your ammonia formation will be there, ammonium ion will form, so that will increase your pH. So that performance you have to, if you want to check the performance, then these parameters need to be checked regularly. Then FOSTEC again a ratio which shows like how much VFA accumulation is there, how much ammonia is forming, like that. Then so this FOSTEC, how it impacts. Like if you see the optimum FOSTEC ratio is the 0.3 to 0.4. If it is like less than that or more than that, again your digester health is not good. So like it needs a doctor. So doctor may be any technician or whosoever is looking after that plant, that has to be checked regularly, and accordingly action should be taken. Then there are different designs have been considered, like based on small, medium and large. So in case of like medium and large, almost same designs are used. If you see like USB, CSTR, CSSB, plug flow reactor, BIMA reactor, so a lot of designs are there. Okay, what material should be there for the digester construction? So like RCC is the most common nowadays. So whatever, standards we need to follow, those are given over here. And other than RCC, there may be HDP, LLDP. So that is based on the size of your plant, you can select the material of construction. Then this is for the gas holder. So you have seen a lot of stalls are there in the this IBA this one. Then that should be like double membrane, or what material should be there. So specific standards are there for that. Those should be followed. Then this is specification for especially for the membrane based biogas holder. And then what are the pipes and fittings? Again, there are Indian standards available. Those should be followed. Color, again, there is a specific color for using like gas and slurry. So those should be followed. Feedstock storage. So storage is the biggest issue. Like if we talk about like paddy straw. So paddy straw is available for 2 to 3 months only. But you have to run your plant throughout the year. So again, you have to have the provision of storage, or otherwise you should have the alternative feedstock, which is seasonally available. Likewise, and whatsoever standards are available, those should be followed. Like some issues has arose due to the storage of press mud. So that smell and that degradation should not be there. Otherwise, your biogas production will again compromised if it is, deteriorating with time. So that should be followed. Liquid feedstock, like that can be stored. Oh, I'm so sorry. I will just finish out. This standard is for the bio CNG, so everybody is aware of it. And this is last modified in 2016. And then for cooking, what specification should be there, so that IS is there, then electricity generation, 100% engines are available, so everybody is aware of it. So FOM. So yeah, FOM is one of the product. I will not say co-product. This is one of the main product of the anaerobic digestion. So that should be taken care how we can use FOM to make our business sustainable. So these are, two amendments have come, one 2020 and another 2021, where we can use both solid and liquid biofertilizers. And the parameters should be followed. Those are here. These are basically heavy metals. So, again, it depends on your feedstock. If your feedstocks contain heavy metals, then again your FOM will have the same. Similarly with the water. If your groundwater having these heavy metals, again your FOM will contain this. So, you will have to be, careful for that. Then, how we can enhance the value of that manure to make FOM. Then what are the sampling and analysis required? So for feedstock, whatever I have explained in the previous slide, so those analyses are given here. So according to these analysis, we are developing our lab. So we will be the full-fledged lab where we can analyze both feedstock to like product. These are the standards we have referred. So I will conclude here. So this is the committee which was behind this finalization of specific these standards. Just one slide I will show for research. Being the scientist, I will not leave this presentation without my research to explain. So directly I will come to that slide. So the one who has visited our stall, we have showed like pamphlet or brochure. So you can see this picture, this table is there, where you can see whatever technology we have developed. So we have enhanced the biogas production or CBG production almost 2 or 3-fold. Whatever feedstock is there, starting from paddy straw to MSW, napier grass, water icing, corn stover, or any crop residue. And we have reduced the HRT drastically, almost half or 1/3. Thank you. With this, I will conclude. So these are the acknowledgement funding agencies. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sachin, for that detailed exposition. It is always, a pleasure to listen to you. So next, we are honored to have Mr. Bhima Shankar Shetkar, who is recipient of the prestigious German Chancellor Fellowship for the year 2021-22 and spent more than a year in Europe. And he has been working since about 15 years with rural communities across Asia and Africa, developing sustainable solutions for enhancing livelihood opportunities and environment-friendly technologies. He's currently the Chief Operating Officer at NDDB RADA Limited, India. We'll look forward to hearing from you, sir.
Good afternoon to all. As of now, all speakers in previous session and this session have covered more about the macro picture policies and this related with the CBG as well as related with the assistance provided by the government. What I will do, I will try to cover more of specifics which can be done or which is possible to do with basically the digestate or the slurry coming out of the biogas plant. So just briefly, what is it? I am representing the NDDB Mrida Limited. This is a subsidiary of National Dairy Development Board. So National Dairy Development Board has been established in 1965 for the purpose of and also for purpose of dairy development in the country. And as we are aware that the white revolution which has happened in the country, that was because of the dairy board's efforts, and in line with dairy board's work in 2022, it was decided that we should work on manure also to realize its energy and fertilizer potential in a systematic way. Work was started in 2018, but this organization has been established in 2022 with the mandate of establishing manure valuation across the country. What is it we are doing? At the center of our mandate is biogas plant, whether it is household level biogas plant or at the or the centralized biogas plant. In both way, uh, the gas produced at household level biogas plants of 2 cubic meter, 5 cubic meter capacity is used for the thermal application for the cooking. And the slurry coming out of this biogas plant is used in bulk as a fertilizer, as well as it is used or it is bought from the farmers and then converted into the different value-added organic fertilizers. And for the centralized biogas plants, we buy dung from the farmers just like we buy milk, and then it is brought at the central biogas plant, and there biogas is further converted into CBG as well as for the thermal application. And the slurry coming out of this plant is used for further value-added products. This is in nutshell the model which we are trying to scale up across the country. What is it we have with us? The Amrit, or just like milk for our body, the digested coming out of this biogas plant is for the soil. So it has macronutrient, it has micronutrient, it has microbes, it has mainly the organic carbon also, and that is more important. Though the nutrients are in lesser quantities, it has organic carbon, which is in high concentration form, and that is what our soil requires today. So we are sitting on kind of a gold for our agriculture. Only thing is how we are going to mine it and use its potential. So one thing is it is available in bulk across all the CBG plants or the biogas plants. When it is available in bulk, the narrative should be that it is source of organic carbon. It is not the source of just the nitrogen or potassium, or because that is not possible to provide through this material. For that you need to have the concentrated form, because the alternatives which are available in the market in chemical form, they are in bags like 45 kg bags, 30 kg bags, and practically to fulfill that requirement of nutrients is not possible for any farmer, and asking the farmers to pay for it in bulk, that is also a difficult task. But other way around, what we can say is that the carbon or the compost which is to be given to the soil can be given through this bulk material, that is fermented organic manure or the slurry, which you like this tanker which you are seeing there in the picture has been developed to supply the slurry or the lafoam to the farmers, and it is provided as a service model, like farmer need to call, and then this tanker goes to the farm and does the service of application of the slurry or the lafoam both. So that is one model which we are trying to do, and this we are doing across all the projects wherever we are doing the biogas plant operations. The next is value added products. What is it we are talking about? So when we have fermented organic manure, is it possible to add something like I was telling you, like in 25 kg bags or 30 kg bags, when we add rock phosphate and maintain the quality as per the fertilizer control order, the phosphate rich organic manure is available in powder as well as granule form, which is sold under Sudan brand wherever we are doing this operation, and this is quite in a demand. This can act as a complementary or kind of a substitute for the phosphatic fertilizers like SSP or DAP. Then the next is the biostimulants. Recently, FCO has come up with the order also for the biostimulant category products, but as of till now, it was just sold a non-FCO product. So what we are doing here is the LAFOM or the liquid portion of this digestate is value added with the biostimulants like seaweed extracts, humic, fulvic acids, which are added externally, and then this product goes in the form of 2 liters, 5 liter bottle to the farmers. So this is also quite in demand wherever this has been introduced. So whatever we are doing, we do basically first the product development, we test with the agriculture universities, we do our own field trials in-house as well as with the farmers, and then we bring these products to the farmers, because we whatever we are going to offer to the farmers, it has to be tested, and we should be 200% sure that we are not going to go with the wrong product or which is going to have the long-term negative impact on the soil or the crops. That should be avoided. Otherwise, the trust which need to be built with the farmers, it will not be there. So this is another product, micronutrients. The soil is deficient in micronutrients, so this is micronutrient rich liquid. So this also is in liquid form. So this is available under, as per the fertilizer control order. Each state has different micronutrient recommendations, and this is also developed as an value-added product from the liquid portion of the digestate. And this is yes, for the urban enthusiasts who are doing the gardening. And this is smaller version of whatever I just now shown you the in previous slides, the small kit. And this is having fermented organic manure, prom, as well as the liquid portion, the different fertilizers for say 20 pots available in a household. And now one more product which we are developing, it is yet to be introduced in the market, is for phosphorus. I told you the prom, phosphate rich organic manure, but for the nitrogen and potassium product is yet to it is yet to be introduced in the market. But for nitrogen, this is what we are in almost final stages of introducing this product. First time we have available like stable 20 to 21% nitrogen organic form, which is not available generally. As of now, nobody has that claim that they can have the 20% stable organic form nitrogen available. So that is developed through the biochemical process, and that we are the stability test with the fermented organic manure mixing in the granule form as well as in the liquid, that has been done. So this will be kind of a input. I feel going forward will be really going to change a lot of things. Considering that the nitrogen is the primary nutrient required across the agriculture, and if you are able to give foam with the enhanced 4% or 8% of concentrated nitrogen, which is organic definitely, not in the chemical form, is going to change a lot of things for the biogas, the CBG plants. These are some studies with the Anand Agriculture University. When we back in 2020 itself, we did some studies with this product, whatever I just shown here, the products which were shown there. This was the study done, and these are the results. And then we did some studies on our own. Then Banaras Hindu University also we did the studies. Just to wrap up what I will tell, in dairy cooperatives, the dairy cooperatives which are highly successful, whether the dairy cooperatives in Amul or either Gokul, there are so many brands across the country. The inherent factor behind the success of these dairy cooperatives is the concept of centrality, or the principle of centrality, wherein these dairy cooperatives become central to the livelihood, as a livelihood, central to the farmer's life. They just don't buy the milk. They provide lot of a lot of dairy related inputs, insurance services to the farming household. It's just not the transaction between the farmer and the dairy cooperative. And those are the successful dairy cooperatives, wherein they pay money on the time for the milk bought. They provide lot of input services, and the similar concept of the centrality need to be brought into this segment also, where the farmers who are supplying this raw material should be considered like what is it extra we are going to do for these farmers through our these biogas plants. Then only we will be able to supply our all the bulk material whatever is produced as an input to the farmers, and we can create the viability for the plants. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bhima Shankar, for such an inspirationally wonderful presentation. Such presentations actually give us a true hope that bioenergy holds immense potential when it comes to rural sector, our very backbone. So next, we are privileged to have Sri Ravi Kaushal with us, who has worked in various industrial units as a production executive. He joined SBI as a probationary officer in 2001 and served the Northeastern Circle of SBI under various assignments. Presently, he's working in the consultancy services cell, Delhi, where he's conducting techno-economic viability studies of various projects. Over to you, Sri Ravi Kaushal. Please give him a big round of applause. And we have certain pointers for you where we would need your insights. You may kindly refer to these pointers.
Good afternoon, everybody. I think lots of theoretical inputs are already there in the mind, so everybody will be loaded with that. So before answering to this question, I just want to share my views or experience while dealing with the proposal, because our department is a very unique in the bank. Our department is manned by engineers, and we are dealing with the proposal of uprise industry and the new industry which is coming to us. Basically, we are helping the credit officers of the bank while appraising the loan, and our main intention is to implement policy or whatever the new uprise sector which is coming up, try to implement in our country as soon as possible, and by doing so we are dealing with so many stakeholders. So here in this seminar we are dealing with bioenergy. So bioenergy, I'll just cut short in the three main field. There is a waste to energy, there is a biomass we are talking about, and there is a biogas what we are discussing. Now regarding waste to energy projects, now I think waste to energy projects, now they are coming to the stability, because earlier while dealing with such type of product we used to see people used to put MSW without any segregation or without any seeing what is the homogeneity of the feedstock into the digester, and whatever be the output they are getting, they are not analyzing it or measuring it. Now just in the previous session we have seen that the Indore plant, 500 TPD plant, MSW based, it was struggling a lot. It has struggled a lot for I think 8 to 10 months before it is getting stabilized. And the reason was they have not properly segregated the municipal waste. And during their initial, when they submitted their project report, they were putting the lesser money on the manpower, and the manpower is much more required for segregating, means getting the organic waste out of the plastics and metals and all, because it is very difficult to segregate the municipal waste. Just now 1 month back we got the proposal, so that is a very good thing. Now it is stabilized, and I think it is generating somewhat around 15 TPD of biogas. 1 month back we got a proposal from one of the promoters, very familiar. He was earlier dealing with the solar, now he wanted to go into this MSW plants, and this particular plant belongs to the MSW, means processing of municipal solid waste of Hyderabad city, and it is twice as big of Indore plant, means 1000 TPD of processing of municipal waste. That means a generation of 30 TPD of biogas. So while looking into the project, I first emphasized or advised the promoter, means to kindly look into the segregation part. You try to make the segregation system as well as the collection system robust, so that you should not suffer just like your Indore plant. So he has taken the point, and then the cost of project was somewhere around 190 crores, and he was asking a term loan of 120 crores from us. So these are all the points we elaborated to them. You kindly make sure, kindly do the homework. Otherwise, the problem lies somewhere else, and we have to blame the industry. Now coming to the biomass. Biomass means, I think those who are staying in Delhi, Noida or NCR, I think in the next 2 months will be going to suffer from the pollution point of view. So the biomass, the actual start of biomass started from there itself, means particularly in Punjab and Haryana, the parali is burnt, and the whole this smoke comes and hovers around our NCR. So the NTPC, they took initiative in 2016. They thought that, okay, why don't we make this biomass into the form of pellets or the briquette, so that with this pellet, the farmers need not to burn it, and the parali means the rice stalk, and then the people should not be annoyed or disturbed by the pollution out of it. So they made a pilot project. They identified NTPC Dadri plant, and then they converted into the pellets, and then they fired it along with it is a coal-based thermal power plant, and that was a success. And in the year 17 or 18, another plant was fired. Pellets means first they are made into the powder, and then these are fired. I'm just touching the background of this industry, why it is so, because there may be some investor who wants to put or invest their money into the biomass. So that will be a very insightful to them. So this particular industry after 2016 and 17, then they created Mission Samarth, because earlier it was limited to the only the 20 plants of NTPC. So the capacity which each plant of NTPC can absorb is the 1000 TPD. So there is a state market of 20,000 TPD from the NTPC side, and now there is a policy of mixing of 5 to 7% of biomass pellet with the all coal-based thermal power plants. So the remaining coal-based thermal power means the remaining plants belong to the public sector as well as the bigger player. Now there is a mandatory, it is mandatory for the Reliance, Adani, Patanjali and other players also. If they are using their coal-based thermal power plant, then they have to mandatorily mix 5 to 7%. And eventually Mission Samarth people, they came to us and we helped them out in preparation of model bankable project report regarding the anybody who wants to set up the unit, they can use this bankable project report. So this project report later on they circulated in all private banks and public sector bank as a model project report. Now coming to the compressed biogas. So biogas, what we are observing it for the last, because we are doing the proposal right from 2018 when the Satat scheme came. So during the last 6 years, what we have observed, the maximum biomass based this biogas plants are based on, they are using the press mud as a feedstock. So far we rely that yes, press mud, whenever anybody is using the press mud, it is a reliable, it is a homogeneous and the availability is also ensured. And apart from that, just 3 months back we got one proposal. The particular person, he was using the Napier grass as a feedstock. Then we inquired in this gentleman, he came from the Saharanpur side. So the Napier grass, yes, an advantage is there. There is an increase in yield. And moreover, you get 3 crops every year so that you can cut it and use it as a feedstock. But the problem is the area of cultivable land required for generation of such a large quantity of Napier. That is the challenge and it really put a stress on the bankability or the viability of the project. Another person, another gentleman, he was from Maharashtra. He was using molasses along with some other end product as a feedstock. So he was telling and he was claiming that by doing so, the cost of project reduces by 1/3 and the yield is increased by 3 times. So I am not discouraging such type of technologies, they are coming to the market, but as an investor or as a maybe, since you are putting your money, you have to be very, very cautious. And I've seen while I was attending in the month of June, before release of result of election, there are many companies which has come, which are doing your, in a small prototype, they'll be taking the feedstock and they'll be telling you how much yield it will be coming, how much biogas will be generating, when the same thing it comes to the large form of a project. So that means before investing means 20 crores or 25 crores into the project, simply spending lakhs of rupees, you can come to know whether my project it will be functional or not. Now I'll come to the questions. Of all the present disassociated credit exposure of CBG industry, which of them? Yeah. I will tell getting the feedstock, the right quantity of feedstock at the desired price. This is the most important challenge right now, because I have seen with the previous session also you have seen many big corporates, they are coming into this industry. From the industry point of view, it's a very good thing. But if you are an MSME player, you want to put up a plant of 3 TPD, 5 TPD or a 7 TPD, you have to be very, very cautious, because the feedstock is the agriculture produce. And you have to run your plant for all the 12 months to get the required amount of return or the profit, to give it to your banker and to bring back to your family. So that's why it is a very much important to get a desired quantity of feedstock with a homogeneous, of course, and at the desired price. And how does SBI ensure that there is a less disparity in evaluating credit proposal at regional level and at the branches? Yes, there is a disparity whenever you go to our branches. Apart from the normal branches, in State Bank of India, we are having a dedicated SME branches. Like we are right now sitting in, we are total 17 circle. Right now we are in Delhi circle. In Delhi circle, we are having 50 SME branches. These branches means they are doing only the commercial loan. They will not be doing any other thing which other branches are doing. So in that, yes, there is a gap, because officers, they come from the different field. They come from the commerce side, they come from the science side. Right now, because of the unemployment, now the doctors and engineers also started joining the bank. So there is a disparity, but what we are doing, we are having a learning center, we are having a training institutes, and in that we are not imparting training to our own bank's officer, but the officers of the other banks also. Private banks and other public sector banks. And whenever they are having, we are creating the very training modules, specialized training modules for our credit officer, and we are regularly imparting training to them, particularly belonging to the uprise sector, like electrical vehicles, charging stations, ethanol, solar. Now the solar industry, it was almost 14 years old. The CBG itself is 6 years old. So likewise, we are trying to impart training to them, and of course, we are having an in-house consultancy cell, the department from where I am, and we are having there. It is manned by engineers only, and whenever they have a doubt, they can bring the person to their consultancy cell for evaluation or loan proposal. What critical must CBG ecosystem which presently lacking would be comforting as well? Yes, of course. What I told in the first thing, that's right. The availability of the right kind of feedstock at the right price is still the challenge, and I will give you only the two suggestions in that. Earlier we used to process or appraise the loans of a biomass based thermal power plant, very big power plant, 10 megawatt or 20 megawatt. In those, while doing appraisal of these or sanctioning of those power plants, what we used to do, we used to adopt the catchment area approach. So for CBG plant also, if a catchment area approach is there, means suppose the CBG plant is there within a radius of 50 kilometers, there should not be another CBG plant. So what you are doing, you are ensuring the quantity of the feedstock for that particular plant. And as far as pricing is concerned, pricing is another vital point, because your price of CVG is fixed. You will be getting somewhere around 65 to 76 rupees. But once you depend on the farmers, once they understand that yes, this their produce or the biomass, or there may be a rice stalk or a rice as is going to a CVG point, they will keep on increasing the price. And once they keep on increasing the price, your profitable CVG product, it will be in losses after 1 or 2 years. So the solution lies, means what we can do, you can make the farmer stakeholder into your project, just like demonstrated in farmer produce organizations. So once you you have to share a part of your profit with the farmer, so that you can control the price of raw material. And the last question is, how much we have financed? Means total we have funded around 50,000 crore toward the renewables. Out of that, 30,000 is solar. And we have, obviously, we have, so far we have sanctioned very less amount, like 300 crore to the CBG. But the thing which I want to emphasize is, means 50,000, 30,000 means, yes, saturation come for this renewable, other renewables, but there is a large scope. And I hope that in the coming year, with the help of, I think the government is also favorable, and with the supportive ecosystem, we are going to do that within a couple of years. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ravi Kaushal, for letting us know the kind of wonderful work that, SIDBI is doing. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the floor is open for questions. For the next 7 to 8 minutes, we'll be having the Q&A session. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach
I have
out.
to speak on SB sir's comment. He was talking about if any new technology comes, then actually we do a DPR validation. Okay, in that, I mean, whatever technology is described, that we can validate, experimentally. But whenever DPR comes to us, then bank will be in the hurry, your developer will be in the hurry, and even consultant will be in the hurry. They don't give time to validate it.
No, that's why I'm
That
telling.
is one of the concerns
That-
I have faced.
Yeah, that's what I want to tell you, because now 6 years are almost over, right from the start of the Satat scheme. So, since we are dealing with so many entrepreneurs coming with the CBG project with different technology, I'll cite one of the example. One of the EPC contractor, he came to us. He was telling that some technology he was using, and I asked him how many CBG projects you have installed. He was telling some 5 projects under implementation it is going. He was using somewhere around, means molasses or a mix of that. Then I asked him whether you have installed your project. He told me, yes, I have installed mine. So I asked him, okay, let's go there and let's see. He was telling, no, my project also is under implementation. So right now there is no project for a banker, and I can understand that. I am telling because I am a technical person, so that I can appreciate, and at least I can tell this is the upcoming industry. Also, there is so much opportunity are there, rather than solar and all, which is on the verge of, it is on the straight. Now it is straight, is not growing solar, because most of them there when it is done. Now this is the industry which I think the India is looking for. But that's why it is important, if you are telling that it is the institutions or the technical institutions are there where someone can go, or they can validate their technology, yes, by use of that many kgs of a feedstock, you can generate these many kgs of biogas. Then
Yeah.
obviously it will be
Yeah.
a very good thing for the banks.
Right. So this is, I mean, a request. Whosoever is putting money, I mean, the time should be given to validate whosoever technology you are referring.
Okay, thank you so much. So the floor is open for questions. Anyone? Please.
Sir, I'm Dinesh. As you mentioned about the value-added fertilizers from that Mrida, your company, uh, are those fertilizers have the potential to say, as PM Modi says that we need to double the income of farmers. So will that be able to give that kind of productivity increase to the farmers?
Uh, Claiming that it will double the farmer's income, definitely we can't claim that. But what we can say that wherever we are introducing these products and whenever we discuss with the farmers, these are kind of a substitute to what they are already using. So if they are using, say, related with the root immunity or something, there are some products which are already there in the market. So the differentiating factor is that these products which are introduced as value added from the digested, they are basically substituting existing products. Means whatever they are already spending, that money gets diverted to this product, and it is in organic form. So now our responsibility is to give a product which can really substitute existing product, which already farmer is using. So, and at the same time, if it enhances the soil health and enhances the crop productivity, definitely that is an add-on. But we cannot go and say that this is going to increase your yield so by 2 times or 3 times and increase the income. Definitely not. But at the same time, these products are definitely at a lesser cost compared to what are there in the market. So you are reducing the input cost also. That is how it is playing out.
So I'll tell you the real case. No, no, the same question. I'll tell you the real case. One unit we have financed. The name is Govardhan Nath LLP. 6 year back we have funded them. It is a 8 TPD project. It is located in Kheda district, and the name of the village is Peach. So earlier, what they used to tell 4 years back, it is run by a promoter. Two NRI promoters are there. They are staying in America. So earlier, normally what happens in a very traditional CBG project, if the selling price of CBG is somewhere around 65 to 70 rupees, and fertilizer price, I'm talking about the northern Indian plant, and 3 to 4 rupees, then suppose 12 to 13 crore is contributed by the sale of CBG, then 1 to 2 crores only by fertilizer. So when these guys, when they started the plant 4 years back, the sale of their manure was 10 crores and 5 crores was only CBG. And the point came where out of 14 crores, 7 crore was contributed by the sale of CBG and the 7 crore was contributed by the sale of manure. They named their fertilizer Utpan, and what they used to do, they just dried it up and they fortify it with another organic nutrient which is needed by the plants. So it is a real example. If you want to see it, you can see it on a YouTube.
Thank you. My name is Dheeraj, and my question is like our country is a country of farmers, but the problem is that everyone have very little amount of lands. So when we go for any funding or anything, it's a big challenge. So what kind of schemes or any this kind of schemes is given by government or any private agencies which can help small farmers as well to support our mission of bioenergy? Mr. Ravi, I think you can start and other people can also join.
As bioenergy, that's why I mentioned particularly the biomass one. The biomass sector means suppose somebody is a marginal farmer or having a very small piece of land. After harvesting, what is left is the maybe a rice husk or maybe a mustard husk. So with a land mass of 2 acres, 1 acre to 2 acres, you can start the biomass pellet manufacturing or biomass briquette manufacturing. Biomass pellet is a market to be used by mixing like 5 to 7% mixing is mandatory for all coal-based thermal power plant. And the briquette is means your 10 centimeter, that much size, big cylindrical. And it is mandatory for maximum industry to be for substitution of a coal. So by those things, it is almost around 6 rupees kg to 7 rupees kg. So any farmers, he can get use. And a very small plant, a 30 or 60 TPD plant hardly cost 1 crore.
I will add, like if you start from the field, like for supply chain, government is supporting to purchase those equipment which are required for baling, collection, transportation. So that support is there. Then after that, for implementation of, I mean, utilizing those feed stocks. So for biogas, like if you go for like bio CNG plant or CBG plant, the scheme is there for support. And even for the small and medium scale support is also there from MNRE and other agencies. Other than that, sir was talking about like pallets. So for pallets and other solid biofuel support again there. So you can explore the websites of like MNRE and other agencies. So the first slide was shown by sir that you can refer different funding agencies which are supporting, that you can explore. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for those wonderful insights. And I can't thank our incredible speakers enough, for their contribution, for joining us today and providing us with such wonderful and incredible insights. So now it's time for our felicitation ceremony. And to do the honors, I would like to call upon Mr. Abhijit Mukherjee, Director Operations, Indian Biogas Association. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause. Can we have the mementos, please? Mr. Puneet, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us today. Next, we have Mr. Jha. Thank you so much, Mr. Jha, for sparing your precious time for all of us. Thank you. Can we have Dr. Sachin? Thank you, Dr. Sachin, for the wonderful presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, encouragement, more of encouragement, please. Mr. Bhima Shankar Shetkar, please. Thank you so much. The presentation was wonderful. Thank you. Thanks for the work that you are doing. Can we have Mr. Ravi Kaushal now? Thank you so much, Mr. Kaushal, for the wonderful insights that you shared. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to request everyone for a group photograph to cherish the moment.